Hi everyone, my name is Thom, and I am doing the Rotterdam Subway Challenge. My challenge started in Leiden, where I rode my bike all the way to the city of Leidschendam. There, at the subway station, I bought a day pass for €8.50, and I boarded the subway. My goal is to ride the entire Rotterdam subway network. In part 1, I visited a few places in Rotterdam and traveled with lines E, D, and C. Today, join me as we travel over a recently refurbished railway line to what used to be a giant international hub. I'll also show you how the Rotterdam Subway is changing their livery, and I explain the concept of Gauntlet tracks. So now I'm at Schiedam Centrum Station, where you can transfer to the NS trains, but more importantly, you can transfer to the subway to Hook of Holland. And I've been wanting to do this for a long time. When I was in high school here in Rotterdam in 2017, the NS line to Hook of Holland shut. I actually rode the very last train to the beach. The line was scheduled to reopen in September. It didn't reopen until September 2019, and that's when we finally take a subway to the cities of Vlaardingen Maassluis and Hook of Holland. And now that I have a day pass and a chance to finally ride that line, I am so excited to see how this railway line has changed from being for trains to being for subways. That's the train to Brussels. NS doesn't use these two tracks because this is where the trains to Hook of Holland used to depart from. Now they're empty. We immediately leave the tracks of Line C and the NS tracks to The Hague and head west. For the first part, a freight track runs next to us. We stop at Schiedam Nieuwland and then 3 stations in the city of Vlaardingen. Now, those freight tracks are on our left side. There's a good reason why I'm talking about these freight tracks the whole time, but I'll tell you about that later. A couple of years ago, back when this was an NS station, Maassluis Centrum was just called Maassluis. It is one of the 3 stations in the city of Maassluis. Steendijkpolder station, newest station on the entire network, opened in 2019, and this is the last stop for about half the trains on this line. The stretch from Steendijkpolder to Hoek of Holland is very long. On the other side of the river is the Maeslantkering, a giant harbor and industrial area. Here we're passing the Maeslantkering, which is a giant machine built to stop floods from entering the Netherlands during stormy weather.
Links uitstappen. Tourist information. U kunt hier overstappen op de bus, fast ferry en de ferry naar Engeland. Eindpunt. Vergeet niet uw persoonlijke eigendommen en afval mee te nemen. Station Hoek van Holland Haven.
So this over here will be the new station, and that's for when the line is extended 2 kilometers to the beach. Hoek van Holland Strand Station used to be served by NS trains. Now we have to wait. I actually don't know how many years it'll take before the subway is finally extended, but when it is, the trains will stop here for Hoek van Holland Haven. So you better enjoy them stopping at this classic station while it lasts. It is so cool cool to see a Rotterdam subway train here at Hook of Holland haven. Last time I was here I was riding an NS train, a local train, but this station's history goes way back. You used to be able to take express trains from Germany, Switzerland, and even Warsaw in Poland, all the way here to the Hook of Holland. And that's because over there, people would walk across the pier to get onto the ferry to Harwich in England, to which they transfer to a train to London. So basically anybody from continental Europe to the UK passed through here. Now, obviously the Eurotunnel exists now, so most people take Eurostar, so this station has lost its international function and even its NS function. So in 2017 when NS closed the line, RET transformed it into a subway line, and it was only supposed to take a couple of months. It ended up taking more than a year, but we're finally here, and it's just so cool. Look, this stripe is blue, and this stripe is green. Now, the color difference might be barely visible, but it's a real thing, and that's because RET is planning to change all the green stripes to blue. I don't really understand why they're making this move. It's not much of a livery change, plus I kind of like the green, but it makes train spotting more interesting. Now, I'm back on the line B. This time we're going to ride it to Vlaardingen Maassluis, and I'll explain why when we get there. But the reason I'm on this train already is because otherwise I'd have to wait 20 minutes. So far, it looks like it's just me. The longest stretch is definitely from Hoek of Holland haven to Steendijkpolder, but it's also not very busy, so I kind of understand why the frequency is limited to one train every 20 minutes. Now it's starting to feel like summer. I got off at Vlaardingen Maassluis station, first of all, to show you what a new station looks like. Yellow. No, they're kind of concrete, they're kind of cagey with this mesh, and the waiting areas have either green, yellow, or orange glass. But what I really want to show you is this. Look at those tracks. Now, track number 1 and 3 are for our subways, and track number 2 and 4 are for freight trains. So they actually share tracks here. Not sure if there's any freight trains that are currently running on this line, but it's possible. And because the freight trains have a wider loading gauge than the subway trains, if they took the regular subway tracks, they'd hit the platform. So instead, they take the outside tracks so they can pass by safely. Isn't that so cool? Today I'm ending my video here in Vlaardingen, but don't you worry, there is still a lot of the Rotterdam subway network we need to do. In part 3 you'll see if I make it or not, but let me tell you this, we won't start with the subway, but with something else. Buses.